Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dev here, and in this video today I'm going to show you the best way to manage view ranges whenever we have multiple links in Revit. This method is far superior to the plan region whenever you're dealing with multiple links or a project of decent complexity, and essentially we're going to be using the linked views feature in Revit. The reason why this feature is so powerful is because it allows us to tap into the Revit links, obtain a view, and then obtain the view range from that view and set it in this file. If you guys do learn something new, I'd appreciate it if you can leave a like. We're going to go over the best practices for this method since it's used in firms quite a bit, and in general, I hope you enjoy. Cheers. So here we have an example in Revit where all of my buildings are set at different heights. So my first building is set at a level difference of 0 to my host levels in Revit. So this is going to cut exactly how I'd expect. My second building here in Revit is set to an offset of -800. And my third building is set at an offset of +1600. If I go to my floor plan here, you can see that the first building is actually cutting correct, right? Like I said, there isn't a difference between levels, so this is actually going to cut the way we'd expect it to. Our second building, however, our doors and windows aren't displaying correctly, and our stairs also aren't cutting at the correct cut plane. As you can see, we're getting this weird cut line here. And our third building, we're actually cutting it to the point where we're cutting a floor exactly. So this is why the floor appears black. There is a mezzanine level here, or a sunken level, which I'm going to show you how to deal with in a bit. But in general, you can see that we need to fix our view ranges for the links, right? So here, what we can do is I can go to VV on my keyboard to go to the visibility graphics for the view. And here I can go to Revit Links. When I go to Revit Links, I'm not going to deal with link A because it's actually set correctly. We're going to focus on link B and C. On link B here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit By Host View, and then when it comes to this setting here, all we want to do is we want to click on custom straight away, and we want to set our linked view here. And if you notice here, I have all of these views here, right, for my floor plans. If I go to link B here, which I've actually got opened up here, you can see that these are all the floor plans I can see in this model, right? So here we have all these levels, level 0 medium, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go back here, you can see by linked view, I can choose these views. So here, I'm just going to hit level 0, and I'm going to set my view range to be by linked view. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, in this link, I'm going to tap into this view and I'm going to obtain the linked view. I'm going to obtain the linked views view range. And that's all I'm going to obtain for this view. If I go to model categories, you can see everything here is set by host view. Same for annotation categories and same for work sets, right? Everything here is by host view. Same thing for filters. So if I hit OK now and I hit OK, you can see I've got the correct view range from this view. And if I go to VV on my keyboard, and if I want all my walls to be red for a cut plane, if I go to solid, red, okay, you can see that our view template or our visibility graphics of the view, as well as the view template, would actually work for this method. This is why this method is so powerful. We still have our main control from our host view, from our host file in Revit, but we're just able to go into the link, get the view range, take it, and make all of our graphics the way we need it. If I went into Revit here, or I went to my Revit links, if I didn't set the custom method, and if I done by linked view, and I just chose this linked view, instead of it being level 0 medium, instead of it being level 0, and I chose level 0 medium, and I hit OK, you can see that for this link, I've actually not set the walls to be red. The reason for this is if I go to VV here, and I go to Revit links again, linked view, you can see that everything here is set by linked view, including the model categories. So all of this here, my walls here aren't red. They're just the normal default cut. Annotation, import categories, and work sets are by linked views. This part is so important. So if I go here and I go back to my Revit link, you can see that because on level 0 medium here, this detail level was set to medium, I've actually obtained it from this view as well. You see, I've got one where it's coarse and one where it's medium. It's going to obtain essentially everything from this linked view. That's why it's very important. So when you go to your Revit linked view, you go to here, you make it by host view. So everything's by host view first, then custom, linked view, choose what you want, or you can choose this one as well. And you can set the view range by linked view. So you still have the graphic control from all of your, from your links. Here, you can see that actually, when I done linked view, it hasn't been sorted because all of these here were set by linked view, unfortunately. So the best way to solve this is just if you go by host view, everything here is by host view. If you then go custom, and then you go to, here, view range, custom, there we go. Okay. And now we are following what our view template holds. Essentially, this is the method. Okay, so now I want to show you something that happens to link C, right? So if I go to link C here, if I go to VV on my keyboard again, Revit links, on this one for link C, let's do the same method where we went custom. Let's take the linked view to be level 0, view range from this view, hit OK, hit OK. You can see that we've solved our view range problem. However, we have two elements that we didn't expect, or I definitely didn't create them in this file. And these are the spot elevations. So if I tap into them, you can see that they are actually part of the link. And if I go to my link C here, as you can see, these spot elevations are part of the link. This is something that you guys need to keep in mind. When you take linked views, because you can sometimes have elements in this view that are view specific, such as detail lines, text, line work overrides, or in this case spot elevations, because these are view specific, these will come part of the linked view range. It isn't something that's the most obvious or intuitive, but it's something you guys need to know. Afterwards, I'm talking about the best practices for setting up linked views, but this is just something I needed you guys to know in terms of clearing it up. So if I go back to my current plan here, so now I'm going to show you a more efficient way of actually applying all these view ranges to your views, right? So initially what I said is when you want to set your view ranges for all your Revit links, you have to go to the view visibility graphics. You actually have to choose what view you want from the link and select the view range. These can easily be mixed up. I've definitely done a mistake before where you accidentally made, say, by linked view for the filter or by the view range. So I'm going to show you a far easier way to set it up. We're going to focus on level 1 because we actually haven't applied it yet. And we'll show you a procedural way to set it up. So what we need to do here is we need to go to our view templates, manage view template, and we're going to create a new view template that's based off a plan. So I'm just going to duplicate this architectural plan. I'm going to call this ATP level 1. I'm going to explain why it's called ATP in a second. But here what I want to do is I want to make sure that everything is set to be excluded, so not included, apart from the Revit links, right? So here all of this needs to be unchecked. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is when I go to Revit links, I'm going to pretend that I was actually in the view and set everything up as I'm meant to, right? So here for link B, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure it's custom, linked view. This time we're doing level 1, view range by linked view. There we go. And for link C, because link C, actually I'm going to show you something as an example right now. So if I go to link view and if I set this to level 1 and I do the view range as linked view, there we go. And I hit OK, and I hit OK, there we go, OK. Now that I'm on level 1 here, and what I can do is I can just right click on this view, apply template properties, and now if I click on this ATP level 1 that I've set up, as you can see the only thing we're overriding is the Revit links because this is the only one that's ticked. If I hit apply properties, there you go, we can see we've overridden the view range for our view. Okay, and one thing I forgot to explain that's very important is the fact that when we apply template properties, we're not actually assigning a view template to our view, right? So here you can see I've got a view without a view template. If I click on this view template and then I click architectural plan, if I hit OK, you can see I've overridden the settings for this view, right? And the view template architectural plan is assigned to this view. If I go back and I undo this, if I right click on this view and click apply template properties, if I then click on this view template, sorry, and I hit architectural plan, and then if I click apply properties, watch what happens. If I hit apply properties, you can see we've taken all the properties from the view template, but once I hit OK, I have no view template assigned to my view. This is because when you apply template properties, you're only taking the properties from the template and applying it to your view. You're not setting it. Think of it as halfway between setting a view template. This allows us to be more flexible with our views afterwards. So if I go to VV, I can still edit my graphics for my view, just as if I could edit them without a view template. So when I go to apply template properties here, you can see that when I go to architectural plan, all these elements that were included here, in terms of the ones that were ticked, these are the ones that are going to be assigned to my view, okay? In the future, I'm going to make a whole video about apply template properties. It's a really useful feature, but this is the only thing you guys need to know for this video, all right? And this is why I said it's really good to set up a view template. Here you can see I've made a mistake, well not a mistake, on the actual link, level 1 is set to this level, and on level 1 we're actually cutting some of the roof. If I went back to my view template here, so if I went view templates, manage view template, and I go to level 1, if I hit Revit links here, and I go link C, if I make this the site view, and if I just hit OK, 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 you can see nothing's updated, right? If I right click again, and I hit apply template properties, and I do the same method, here you can see it's updated. This isn't exact, say, This isn't like an actual thing where you update the ATP, it's going to update on your view automatically. There is a way to do this. I'm going to explain at the end of the video. But as you can see, if you update your ATP, you're then going to have to apply it to the view each time, but it gives you far greater control. So if I went to create another floor plan, for example, if I created level 1, right? Instead of doing the same thing before where I had to set all the view ranges individually, I can just right click on level 1. There we go. Level 1, apply template properties. And look at that. We fixed it. It's set exactly that I've set on the method of ATP. So unfortunately, you are actually going to have to go to manage view templates, create one for every single level that you have. This is going to take 5 or 10 minutes, but I guess it's nothing compared to the amount of work that it's going to save you afterwards. And then all you have to do is just apply these to your views. Okay, and another important thing to explain is that when you use this method, you can't include Revit links within your view template, right? So here I've got a view template that's called architectural plan. Here, look what happens if I include Revit links as part of it, right? So if I went here and if I included Revit links to be part of the view template, if I then went to the method that I showed you before, where let's say we made everything by custom, linked view, level 0, view range, same thing there, same thing here on link C, because all of this is applied to the view template here, as you can see, view range and linked view, okay. On level 0, it doesn't make a difference. If I went to level 1 now and I applied that same view template, this view template is actually setting all my levels to be level 0 because our Revit links was included with it. So one fundamental thing that you have to do is whenever you use this method, if you click on architectural plan or whatever your view template is called, make sure Revit links is unticked. When this is unticked, what you're able to do is you're able to then right click on the your view, apply template properties, and then you're able to set the level that way. So if I hit apply properties here, I hit yes, there you go, we can see we fixed it. If I undo this and I undo this again, so say if Revit links is included in my view template, if I right click on this level 1 and I try to apply level 1 here, there you go, it says target views has a view template assigned. If I hit yes, nothing happens. This is because my view template hasn't been excluded to take off Revit links. It's because my view template hasn't been excluded to take off Revit links. It's not able to override this property. So that's one thing that's very fundamental to keep in mind. Revit links has to be turned off here. And because Revit links has to be turned off here, that's why it's very important to make sure that on your ATP, if you go to view, manage view templates, this is why it's very important to make sure that everything here is set by host view, because otherwise, if it's not set by host view, you're going to have to go to each view one by one and control what you want the graphics to be. So that's why it's very important to do so. Okay, so let's talk about more best practice methods. The next one that I want to show you is how to actually deal with situations like these in a real project. So in your Revit link, what you want is ideally to create a new set of floor plans that are specifically dedicated to the view range, right? So in order to do this, all you have to do is just click on the floor plans up here, click edit type, duplicate, and then you can name it whichever you want. So this one, I've called it floor plan dash view range. So once I've done that, I've then generated new floor plans that are dedicated only to the view range. Because on this method, as you can see here, I've applied a view template, and on this view template, you'd want to disable stuff like spot elevations, text, or just not generate from these set of views. These views shouldn't be touched by anyone in your firm, apart from the only purpose to actually create special adjustments to the view range, right? When you're editing something on the view template, or in this case, I actually want to create a plan region. So as you've noticed here, on this floor plan that I've used before, I had a plan region. If I then copy this into this, into this view range here, or onto this floor plan, and I hit align to current view, there we go. If I now hit sync and I hit OK, if I then go back to my Revit project and I go to manage links and I reload link C, there we go. And now on level 0, if I go to Revit links, here you can see I can go to my linked views, and I know specifically to choose floor plan VR level 0, because you know, as you're working in a firm, there's going to be loads of different views there from different people, or just different dimensions of the views. Of course, this is within the link. So this is why you need a separate floor plan type dedicated to view ranges only. So it's going to be completely clean from annotations. So now if I press VR level 0, okay, like I said, linked view from there. There we go from there. And here we've now solved the problem of getting rid of all these other annotation details that we didn't really want part of our view. And as I mentioned, because we're taking everything from the linked view, plan regions also work. for this example of my building, if I go here, you can see that because this building steps without the plan region, if I went to it and I deleted it, you can see it wouldn't work and we'd have this problem in Revit. But because I applied the plan region here, my linked view also picked up the view range of this view as well as the plan regions in this view. And that's why this method is so powerful when you're working with links. It makes it so easy when you're working with views. Guys, if you did enjoy this video, I would very much appreciate it if you leave a like. I'm actually going to create a new video in a week or two that's going to go over a few, not problems, but workarounds that you might need when you're dealing with linked views for your project, because there can be loads of different scenarios. And also, if you're interested in a way where I can show you how to use Dynamo in Revit, or even just create a script for you guys in order to automatically apply those ATPs to the actual views that you have, so you don't have to click one by one, right click, apply template properties. If you are interested in a script for that, let me know. And yeah, that's it for this video. Take care, guys. Cheers.